Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy llmind, and welcome to the official Rump Shaker, llmind Rump Shaker Special Edition Blap-Kit video tutorial. First of all, I wanna start off by thanking the homie Kibi, who actually programmed and helped design and develop this Kontakt instrument application, and big up to my man Nick, who took care of the artwork and skins for Rump Shaker. This couldn't be possible without those two guys. So big up to them. So yeah, guys, welcome to Rump Shaker, the world of Rump Shaker. It's basically a soft synth, sort of analog bass synthesizer, really inspired by old school analog instruments, analog hardware. Really inspired by the popular Mini Moog instrument. And so basically, what Rump Shaker is, it's two things. It's designed as a really warm, fat analog bass instrument, but it's also a polyphonic analog synthesizer in its own right as well. And I'm going to show you guys some really cool things you can do with Rump Shaker. So the first thing you're going to need, obviously, is Kontakt Player, which is developed by Native Instruments. From what I understand, Kontakt is compatible with pretty much every single DAW out there except for Reason, and we are working on a Reason patch as we speak for you Reason users out there. But for the most part, this Kontakt Player, if you don't have it already, you can download it for free on nativeinstruments.com, or you can go to blap-kits.com, and if you go to the Rump Shaker shop page, you'll see a free link in there as well to download Kontakt Player. So the first thing you're going to need is Kontakt Player. Install that, download that, install that, and then you're pretty much going to go to your libraries tab here and click Add Library, search for your Rump Shaker folder, and it'll pop up. So let's get right into the plugin here. So the first thing you see here is your list of bass patches here. So there's 41 patches in here with a couple bonuses, which we'll get into in a little bit. First thing I want to show you is just some basic functionality of Rump Shaker. I'm going to go ahead and open up the first patch, which is obviously basic fatty. And I'm going to start hitting the keys so you can kind of get a sense of how this thing sounds. So basic fatty, I guess, is sort of your default analog-y, warm kind of bass patch, real subby. And the thing about Rump Shaker is, I pretty much sound designed every single patch on here. So it was some really intense EQing and sound designing and experimenting with sine waves and square waves and different types of filters to create these tones. So what you're going to notice, which is sort of consistent in the Rump Shaker instrument, is a lot of these, well, I would say most of these patches have some interesting things happening at 100 hertz and lower. So a lot of those really low bass frequencies that you don't typically notice on regular monitors are now, those frequencies are noticeable if you're using a subwoofer, or if you're outputting on a system that is able to read those frequencies. So you're really going to be able to appreciate this instrument more if you have a subwoofer. So I highly recommend getting one if you don't already. So the first thing you'll notice here on my graphic user interface here for Rump Shaker is you have three knobs, and these are obviously what they are. They're your basic EQ knobs, which are low, mid, and high. And we really wanted to keep this simple. Your basic low, mid, and high EQs allow you to further kind of mold these sounds to your liking. So, you know, you have your mid here, you raise the high, and obviously the low if you want to get ignorant. So the cool thing about these EQs is you know, they're not necessarily your normal EQ. We really try to design them in a way where these EQs sort of function similar to the circuitry of old analog synthesizers. So if you're turning your mid up, you're sort of getting like an analog distortion, fat sort of texture happening, as opposed to just using, you know, a regular 7-band or 3-band EQ in your DAW. So so that's a really cool feature. These EQs are very analog feeling and reminiscent of analog synthesizers, which I love. So you have your basic EQs over here. The second tab here, this is one of my favorite features of Rump Shaker. It's called the Analog Oscillators tab. You have two knobs here. You have a drift and an age tab here. So basically what Analog Oscillator does is it basically mimics the slightly off-pitch nuances that you hear in old analog synthesizers. So if you notice, I'm gonna go ahead and choose another patch here. Okay, so let me go back to my analog oscillators. So if you notice in you know, old recordings using old synthesizers, sometimes when you hear a key, you'll hear the key sort of go off pitch slightly, and a lot of that had to do with the circuitry of the actual hardware back then. So if I hit C3 here, this C2, you sort of just, you hear the basic tone of the instrument here, and I have drift and age set to 0. Age is at 1, but that doesn't matter. So I'm going to show you what happens if I increase my drift. I'm going to go 35, why not? And I'm going to go age, let's say 10 or 11. So I'm going to hit the same key and watch what happens to the tone of this key with drift and age increased. So you hear that slight kind of off-pitch random texture happening to the sound. So it's cool. You could adjust that to your liking, but it's a really cool effect because it really gives you that true analog oscillation, off-pitch sort of feel in the instrument. So if I increase drift and age some more, it'll start to get really ignorant. So that's cool. That's like one of my favorite features of Rump Shaker. You could do a lot of really cool things with that. So I'm going to bring those back down to 0. Okay, cool. So another cool thing about Rump Shaker is it's obviously a fat, super duper fat bass patch, which I know you guys will have so much fun with, as I am. But it also doubles up as a polyphonic analog synthesizer, competitive in its own right, in my opinion. Not just because we made this plugin, but I do believe that texture-wise, you know, it's got a nice, unique sound to it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to just add a little bit of delay here, and you can do this in any DAW. I'm assuming you guys know how to use delay and reverb. So the ones that I prefer to use are really basic. I'm going to add a little bit of H delay, and then I'm going to add a little bit of reverb on this track. So you're going to get this. So now I'm sort of in synthesizer mode, right? So if you go down here and you see that Rump Shaker, pretty much 99% of the Rump Shaker instruments are mapped out completely on your keyboard. So you can really go creative and go wild with this instrument. So put a little bit of delay and reverb. So I'm gonna hit the key now and so now I'm sort of in polyphonic mode, which is kind of cool. With a little bit of delay and reverb can go a long way, or you can keep it dry if you want. So I'm going to go ahead and increase my drift and age once again. And I'm going to go kind of ignorant this time. You know, YOLO. All right. So now you have a really interesting synthesizer. I'm going to move forward with another patch and see how these sound here. Let me go to my analog oscillator. Drift and age are up. Yeah, let's play around. That's an interesting texture right there. You can use that for many things. So now we're sort of experimenting here, and this is one really cool thing about Rump Shaker is it's really a creative tool for you that's really based on analog circuitry. And the reason why we didn't include a delay or reverb features on Rump Shaker is because we really wanted you guys to have the freedom to really give your own twist and apply your own effects to this instrument. And that's also sort of a consistent theme in all of my Blap-Kits, even my drum kits. You know, I try to give you guys really usable, really quality sounding instruments, but not to the point where they're not tweakable to your liking. So I really wanted to keep that consistent with this instrument. Let me go down the line and show you a couple more sounds here. So this one's really cool. A couple other additions to Rump Shaker. We have bass glides here. I'm gonna load up this one. So we have these bass glides, and they're pretty much in legato mode. And let me show you a little bit of how they function, how they sound. So with the bass slides, you have this effect of the key sliding up to the next key that you hit in sort of a gliding fashion. Of course, in legato mode. This one's really fat. So you can do some really cool things with the glide. I'm a big fan of using glides in my basses, so we wanted to really touch on that feature as well. I give you guys a couple glide patches. That one's ignorant. So in addition to these cool bass glides here, we have some bonus material here, just some fun stuff. Really just like aggressive, distorted, ignorant kind of sounds here, and you can use those to your liking as well. So that's pretty much the gist of how Rump Shaker works. Of course, if you purchase Rump Shaker, you also get the wave one-shots of each bass instrument, so that'll allow you to sort of key map into your own DAW if you choose. I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend using Kontakt. Kontakt will give you full functionality of the instrument. Hope you enjoyed this short video run through of the Rump Shaker Special Edition Blap-Kit. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.